All right, thanks for tuning in. My name is Clayton. I'm excited to be sharing this with you. A great lesson, great message today, very exciting, very humbling. As you can see in the title, come follow me right now. Right now. You can kind of sense the urgency and the passion that's behind that. Come follow me right now. Let's pick up in chapter 1, verse 16. We're going to continue following the Master, the Messiah, as he goes through with his ministry, as he starts his ministry here. In verse 16, he's calling his disciples and saying, and walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And Yahshua, Jesus, said to them, come follow me, and I will make you become fishers of men. And immediately they left their nets and followed him. Immediately they left their nets and followed him. I got a question. Have you ever been interrupted? Interrupted. I don't know anybody who loves interruptions. Interruptions are often inconvenient. They're loud, they're intrusive. You may be reading something, you get interrupted. I got kids, I'm constantly interrupted. Constantly interrupted. You may be building something. You may be working on a homework assignment. You may be praying or in the Word. Or maybe even in a video game. I remember growing up and I was playing video games. I did not want to be interrupted. And what bothers me about this passage is that something we learn about our Master, our Father in heaven, is that he has no problem interrupting your life. I mean, he says here that he saw Simon and Andrew, his brother, casting the net into the sea. He saw them, yet he interrupted them. Could have waited. Isn't fruit of the Spirit considerateness? Can you be more considerate, please, and wait till we're finished and kind of loading up and come talk to us on the side? That'll be more understandable. But he saw them doing this, and in the middle of that, he says, come follow me. Come follow me. In the middle of that. So the first point we need to really quickly see here is that he has no problem calling you in the middle of your business. You may be busy right now. You may have a plan, a financial plan that you're going to work out this year. You may have an academic plan for how you're going to finish your degree. You may have a plan for how you're going to raise your kids and get married at this time and move to this place or go to that place. But he has no problem interrupting your plans. Why? Because he is the king of his kingdom. And he's calling you to go all in if you're not already all in. So I'm calling you, go all in. Are you going to drop everything just as they did? Which leads me to my next question. What do you do when you're being interrupted? You know, if you're like me, you put your hand up and say, hold on, just a second. Hold on, I'll be right with you. Give me a minute. You know, I'm married. My wife sometimes will tell me, can you pick this up? Sure. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, but not right now. When I finish doing what I'm doing, I'm going to go put that away and she'll come to me later and I'll find out she didn't mean later. No, she didn't mean later. She meant right then, right now. And I love the way they responded. When you hear the Spirit's prompting, when you hear his call, I believe that if you're watching this right now, he has prompted you and called you at some point. How did you respond? Or how are you responding? I love the way they did. They say immediately drop their nets right there. I'm interrupted, but I'm dropping it right there at that very moment. Is that our attitudes? He says, come follow me right now. See, I learned that come follow me, there's something that is understood in there that is not said as right now. That's an imperative sentence that's saying, I need you to do this right now. And they responded that way. Well, how can we assume that just because he said, come follow me, that it's a right now? Well, look what he said in other places. In Luke 9, he would say, but come follow me. And someone would say, but first. Yeah. Sometimes I have a but first attitude. Look, it's very reasonable. I'm not trying to be out of place here, but first, let me go. It don't matter what you put in there. What he's calling you to is a right now, I'm first. But this man says, but first, let me go bury my father. That's reasonable. Amazing the way he responds. He says, let the dead bury their own dead. Let the dead bury their own dead. Yes, but you come follow me. And he goes on, another man, come follow me. But first, he says, let me say goodbye to my family. Let me say goodbye to those at my house. Let me just say, look, it's not that I don't want to go, but let me first go say goodbye. It does not matter, guys. Listen to this. Listen to the Messiah. It don't matter what church you're a part of, what group, or what people are saying, and how they're saying, okay, yeah, you're working through that, or you have a great plan. If he's calling you right now. And he's asking that you trust that he's made provisions for you right now. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to say, hey, how this makes sense. Stop trying to say, well, I'm trying to be wise and go say goodbye. I'm trying to be wise and be nice to my family because I'm trying to save them. No, I called you right now. I need you to obey right now. Oh, that's challenging. I'm with you on that. It's challenging. But I need us to go all in, because when we're all in, we're all win. You have to understand something about Jewish history. And the way Jewish boys grew up, from age of 6 to 10, they would attend classes starting at 6 years old, learning the Torah. I'm talking about Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the Torah containing in there about the instructions of Yahweh. And as they're learning these instructions, they're putting them to memory. And if they did a good job from 6 to 10, they would move on from 10 to 14, memorizing the rest of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament as we call it. They would go on memorizing this stuff. And if they did well in that, then they would seek out a rabbi who they would follow. And a rabbi would quiz them to see if they made it. Those who made it became followers of a rabbi, disciples of some rabbi. Now we're starting to get to the terminology we're familiar with. But those who did not make it, the rabbi would say to them, you got some things down, you got some bases, but you don't have it well enough to be my follower. Go back home, have children. Maybe they will become rabbis or followers of another rabbi and pursue the trades of your father. Fishermen, carpentry, whatever it was. That's where Peter and these guys were. They were the rejects. They were the people who didn't make it. Now they had some understanding of Torah, but they did not make the cut. And when a rabbi came up and said, come follow me, they understood the reason why they were going to follow him, because there were more importance in him than what they were doing at that moment. They looked forward to this their whole life. It was looked up to be a follower of a rabbi, to have understood the Torah and memorized it, because you were quizzed intently about your understanding of the Torah. The rabbi would introduce 3 verses from any part, and you were supposed to finish it, sometimes with a question. You needed to know this stuff, but they didn't make the cut, so they dropped it. So I'm telling you, look, some of us have not dropped it. We have not felt the urgency and the importance to drop it. Why? Because we didn't see it as great importance yet. They saw how important this was. They saw this is a privilege. He just looked at us. He's been watching us, and he called us out. No interview, no scrutiny. I'm taking it. We're not dropping everything because we don't sense that urgency. We don't sense that importance. And I'm calling you, just as he called you, to drop it right now. Now, I don't know what he's calling you to do. He says, come follow me. What does that mean for you? It may not mean getting out of a fisherman's boat. He says, follow me. Do exactly what I'm doing. Stop doing what you're doing. Come do what I'm doing. It was common that the disciples would follow their rabbi so closely they would be covered in the dust of their rabbis. They would watch him. He says, do what I'm doing. Get up early. Yeah, some of us don't want to get up early. I got up early. Come follow me right now. Put down anything that's impure. Stop watching this. Stop dressing this way. Stop reading this. Go all in. Stop associating yourself with things that are not like me. Come follow me. Come follow me. What is he calling you right now to come following him right now? Drop it. After you finish this video, you can pause it. You can stop it right here. I want you to reflect and ask yourself, what is that thing he's calling you to follow him right now? And they dropped it immediately because they saw the importance of it. Drop it. Everything right now. And I love the quote that says that for things that's important, we make time. For everything else, we make excuses. We make excuses. I couldn't have my quiet time today. I had too much. It's not important yet. It's not important. I couldn't get up to pray. I couldn't have some time with my wife to fellowship or to promote the spiritual things that I'm trying to build up in her. I didn't have time to do this spiritual. I didn't have time to go reach. I didn't have time to go serve. No, it's not important yet, because anything that's important, we make time for. We always make time for everything that's important. You make time to eat. You make time to sleep. You make time to watch that show that you love. You make time to go to the movies. You make time to check your messages. You make time to play the little games on your phone. You make time to Facebook, YouTube, socialize. You make time for the things that's important because it's important to you. Have you ever lost sleep because there was something else you were doing? If you're watching this, probably you have, because something became more important. Have you ever not eaten because you wanted to use that time for something else that was more important? Yes, you have. And there's no reason why we're not giving him the time other than because he's not important yet. Put him of great importance. Go in prayer and say, I want you to make me want you more. I'm not making you important. I want you to want. I want to want you more. I want to hunger for righteousness. Again, as I usually am, I'm calling you to go all in, because either you're all in or you're not in at all. Drop everything. Give everything right now. Come follow him right now.